Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are here with your host, it's Mr. BudgetPedalChap. This is the Fret Talk podcast, and you are here with Mr. Matt Quine. Say hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yourself?
Yep, I'm not too bad. Not too bad. I mean, considering the last cast was literally like minutes before a radiator exploded in my face. Yeah, this one's slightly less frantic, a bit more chilled out. So I'm cool with that. How about yourself, Matt? Any radiators being exploded in your face?
No, I mean we moved house the week before last, and so far none of the radiators have exploded. I mean, none of the radiators have been switched on, but they also haven't exploded. So,
I mean, I'm taking that as an absolute win.
Yeah, I'm taking it as a win. I really hope they don't explode if we turn them on at some point.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So we mentioned on last week's cast the reason that you weren't here was because of your move, actually, and that the internet was supposed to be there but was not there. And
yeah,
and for our listeners, how's that situation resolved? Is that worked out now?
Well, yeah, I mean, I now have internet. It's not the internet we pay for. We pay for 80 down, and I'm getting 11 down. But
I mean, what's like 60, 68, 69 between friends?
Yeah,
69.
69. Yeah, it's on its way to being sorted. We're actually getting upgraded to fibre for free at some point. So nice. We just have to wait for them to install it in the building, which it isn't done yet. So that'll happen at some point. Yeah,
I mean, it will end up being that your responses to my questions will be quicker than I'm actually saying them. I imagine that's the way that fibre optic broadband works, isn't it?
It predicts what you're going to say and tells me before you say it.
Yeah, it allows kind of very brief time travel.
Yeah,
I mean it's pretty much the wonders of the internet, anyway, isn't it? That it is a magical. It's the closest thing that we've got to magic.
It's definitely the closest thing we've got to magic. I mean, like, even 15 years ago, could you really have imagined video chatting and being able to actually see the other person as well as hear them? Yeah,
I mean, like 15 years ago, you would have been pushing the boundaries if you would have been able to draw things on paint and send them to each other.
Yeah, I remember in high school, so I guess it's like 11 years ago, where you'd have MSN, where you'd have the video but no audio, and then you'd have to type your questions to each other.
Yeah. I've done a fair few of those, audio or no video, and video no audio. And you're just like, what's going on? Why is it not working? And you'd be like, oh, that's right, because we've got basically shitty 90s internet.
Yep.
So that's better now. And the fact that we can see each other, and it looks pretty decent video quality. We don't look like we're recorded through potatoes. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty standard stuff. I mean, if it gets any higher def, I'm gonna have to start looking after myself, because
same.
I work on the averages. The internet's not that good.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I've also now, with the spoiler alert, the new recording setup that I've got, I can at least cover half of my face with a pop filter.
Boom! Yeah, I mean, you've now kind of overtaken me in the professionalism stake. Yours looks like a professional setup, whereas I am still holding a fuzzy microphone. I mean, I've got the kind of like football commentator look going on.
Yeah, John Watson from the from the 80s.
Yeah, like 80s football commentary. But hey ho, if it works, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've actually had the arm that I've got this new microphone sat on for a while, but I haven't had anywhere to clamp it to, whereas now I do.
I've got a gooseneck arm thing. It's for it's got a mobile phone attachment though, rather than a microphone attachment. So I could have where you got to see more of my face,
Close up of your face.
yeah. And to be fair, I probably should do that for the live streams. However, like that's another thing to set up, and yeah, we already push it for time, don't we? We're already pretty close. So yeah. So what you been up to anyway, Matt? Been up to any guitar-y things?
Yeah, I've had a couple of gigs since I was last on. I think the Hawaiian theme one was since the last cast.
Whoa, hold your horses there, Matthew. A Hawaiian themed gig?
Yeah, there's photos of me on Facebook. I think you might have to be friends with me to see them. Of basically, we were told, can you dress in loud summer clothes? So I did.
Yeah.
And I went to Primark, and not Primark, Peacocks, and I bought the loudest shorts and the loudest shirt that I could find that would fit me. And it cost me like 15 quid.
I mean, that is money well spent there. You'll be definitely getting your mileage out of those.
Yeah, and actually playing in shorts was a godsend because it was really hot in that room.
Yeah.
And like some of the guys had just gone, oh, we'll just like wear what I'd wear on holidays. And the other guitarist was in chinos and a white shirt, and he was absolutely drenched in sweat by the end of the night. And I was loving the fact that I was just in shorts and a really light, loud t-shirt.
Yeah, you go up to them at the end and you go, who looks stupid now? And they go, Matt, it is still you. It is very much still you.
Yeah. Yeah, so we did that, and then this Saturday just gone, I did a Peaky Blinders themed night.
Okay.
So yeah, that was black trousers, white shirt, braces, black tie. Yeah,
I mean that's
totally different.
That is very much my neck of the woods. That is the whole Peaky Blinders thing.
Yeah. I'd forgotten it was set in Birmingham, isn't it?
Yeah, and they do a lot of the filming at the Black Country Living Museum, which is pretty much as boring as it sounds. But yeah, so it's kind of like a throwback town to the old like Industrial Revolution kind of style, West Midlands, and they do a lot of the filming there. So there's a bit of merchandise and some kind of clips from the show plastered up all around. Not being a fan of the show in any sense of the word, it's completely lost on me whenever I go there. So,
I mean, I've never seen it at all. I basically we did a summer party for a company, and they said, "Yeah, can you all dress up as sort of 1920s that kind of dress?" And here's some photos of Peaky Blinders if you've never seen it before. I mean, I do have Google. I don't quite know why they sent me photos of something I could have just Googled. But.
Yeah. Here is a picture. Yeah. This like top Google image search. You should have turned up in Game of Thrones where and says, "Oh, I knew it was one of these hit shows." Oh.
Just turned up dressed as a Dothraki.
I was thinking more Daenerys, turn up, full blonde wig, flowing dress.
Oh dear. Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, I've gigged with a flat peak on for the first time in my life.
Nice.
That was, we set up for that gig, and I came home and I dug out my giant 18-inch fan because I was like, "There's no way I'm going to cope wearing a hat inside tonight." And the only white shirt I have has shirt sleeves rather than short sleeves. So, yeah, it was like there was no way I was coping without a fan pointed at my face for the entire set. But yeah, it was actually really good fun. Everybody at the event was also kind of dressed up in that theme. including all like the waiting on staff and the bar staff, and everybody sort of got involved, and it was a really fun thing to be involved in.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Sounds like they put the effort in, and rather than just making the band look like a tit.
Yeah,
because that would be quite fun. Go, yeah, we want you to dress all as Sesame Street characters. It's a Sesame Street themed party. Then everyone else just turns up in like work do stuff.
Yeah, and you're there dressed as the Muppets.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm stupid enough that I'd have done it, but
yeah, absolutely. If they're paying for it, yeah.
Yeah, and I've been using the Tate Effects Raise the Dead in places where you don't particularly need to use massive amounts of fuzz.
Yeah, I mean the last podcast it was you were waiting for it to arrive, and then directly after the podcast you sent me a picture of it arrive.
Yeah, it arrived whilst we were podcasting. That's right. So yeah. I haven't spoken about that, have I?
No, you haven't. No. So
it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. It's a smile machine is the best way to sort of like at the same time I put two pedals on my board. I put the JSA compressor and I put the Tate Effects Raise the Dead. If you want the best cheap compressor on the market, buy the JSA compressor. It's the easiest thing to dial in the world. It just makes your tone better without you noticing it, and the only time I noticed it was when I turned it off. Simple to dial in with that extra LED that kind of flashes when the compression is happening. Yeah, really, really good functional pedal, and I will use it for every single song. For the first time in however long I've been playing, I'm now going to have a compressor on all the time.
Yeah, my boy.
Which is tantamount to how good that compressor is. So I put that on the board, and at the same time I put the Raise the Dead. And whilst for most indie and like classic rock stuff, it's not needed. It's found its way into songs.
Yeah,
it's found its way.
You've also purchased a giant shoehorn to try and get it into everywhere that you.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's not many places that you can use it. So it's in Love Machine by Girls Aloud. So I use it in that now. Yeah, imagine that, but just fuzzy. And for half of the solos that I get in Johnny Be Good, I now use it.
That is wildly inappropriate, but I'm on board with this. Yeah.
I also use it in the Beatles number that we do. Soar standing there, so I get a solo in the solo place, and I get a solo as the outro. No. So the solo in the normal place gets like classic sounding normal guitar, and the solo in the outro gets fuzz.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm sure I'll find other places to shoehorn it in. I mean, there's far more places I can use it with the other band where, you know, there's places where there is fairly raucous lead playing.
Yeah. And so the Raise the Dead is as you've quite rightly coined it, a smile machine, but it is what the one sound, isn't it? You've got that raucous sound because the only dial on it is more, essentially, like more volume.
Yeah. And
when you completely crank the bollocks off it gives you a little bit more gain as well, by virtue of it just being louder.
I mean, I've not had it past 12 o'clock because that's way above Unity, and I've been using it in a live setting. I think if I put it all the way up, I'd probably just get feedback because I stand 5 foot from my amp.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair assumption, and the Tate stuff it does have a generous amount of volume on tap, so anywhere like up to 12 o'clock is standard for it. I
mean 12 o'clock's way above Unity, and the good thing is it's not one of those fuzzes that gets lost in the mix. It does, like, it kind of sits in the right range for guitar sounds in that it doesn't get lost. It's not one of those that's too woofy or too kind of like high and gets lost. It's in the right place in the mix. And when you want to make it go louder, you can kick a tube screamer in the front end of it, and it's amazing. And having a fuzz pedal that doesn't need to be the first pedal on your board is great.
Yeah, I mean that the Transformer pickups simulator is an absolute godsend, isn't it?
Yeah. It just means that you can drop it in to the space that you've created on your board, and you can either drive into it or run it like after an octave pedal, whatever you want to do. It's so handy.
Our good friend Joe over at Hello Sailor did a little experiment video on his Instagram. It was within the last couple of days, where he shows the difference between a Rangemaster without the Transformer mod and then a Rangemaster with the Transformer mod, and the one without got real nasally and got quite unpleasant, and the one with the Transformer it sounded like the Rangemaster does, which is because his take on the Rangemaster is not that kind of gramophone focused kind of honky frequency. It's quite full sounding still, isn't it?
It is. It's very full sounding. There's the one that I've got has two different EQs on a switch. One that actually gives it like a fatter sound, so it's almost more like a mid boost rather than a treble boost, and the other one is the more vintage sounding EQ for a Rangemaster. And I've got it in the sound that just kind of chunk that adds that kind of mid focus. And I tend to find that a lot of the time I'll have my hotcake as my normal drive, and then I'll just use the Rangemaster to add a little bit more gain, but also to add in those extra frequencies. Yeah. And just give myself a fuller sound. I love the Rangemaster. The Rangemaster is fast becoming one of my favourite pedals as well.
Oh, you've got to stop telling me this. You've really got to stop.
You need one. You absolutely do need one.
Yeah. I've convinced myself of that, so I need people to talk me out of it.
Yeah, you're not going to find that here.
No. I've looked far and wide on the internet as well, and everyone who's come into contact with Joe's Rangemasters has said exactly the same thing. Says, yep, you need one.
Yeah, I mean, was it Guitarist magazine he was in the other week with the fella from that pedal show?
Yeah, Chris Buck. Yeah. I happened to get them early because I'm subscribed to a few of these guitar magazines. So I'm sure I shared it on social media, or I might have sent the picture to Joe and was like saying, "Hey up, who's this famous chap being mentioned here?" He was absolutely beaming about it. It's brilliant stuff.
Yeah. Like I say, one of my favourite pedals. So yeah, I've added all those pedals to be bought, or those two pedals to be bought, and just been sort of gigging and practicing with a new band as well. We've doing some fairly different stuff, like right the way from Fats Domino to Muse in the last couple of practices that we've done. So yeah, all in all, good fun.
I mean, you say Fats Domino to Muse on my phone's shuffle mode today. I was driving somewhere, and I very rarely put any playlists or anything on. I'll just put it on shuffle, and it had it kicked off with like an Alanis Morissette tune, and then went directly from Alanis Morissette to Megadeth.
As you do.
Yeah, I was impressed.
I mean, there's not many people that have both of those in the same playlist.
No. But I have been really bitching about my the the music on my phone at the moment because I've not long ago had a new phone, and it's an Android, so it doesn't faff about with having to sync with iTunes and then do this, that, and that. I just had like all of my old iTunes folders. I could just literally copy them over. So I did that from my old computer's iTunes. But this was a communal computer. It was not only mine, but my brother and my mum as well. All shared this computer. So it's got like tons of really great music on, but it's also got like some kind of 2000s-ish like new metal and like industrial and some of this stuff, which happens to be my brother and not my mum. Just in case, just in case you were wondering. So yeah, I mean, like there'll be like Marilyn Manson. There's about like 12 Marilyn Manson albums, and I can stand a little bit of Marilyn Manson, but when the shuffle hits me with like 3 or 4 in a row, I'm like, oh, fuck this shit. And yeah, there's quite a few times, like Evanescence as well. Like I could deal with like a good maybe 4 or 5 Evanescence songs, but they have to be very sparsely spread out.
I mean, I only know one Evanescence song.
Well, I mean, if you know one Evanescence song, you know most of them, because
right, okay,
they've got they do that kind of chug rhythm, goes dug 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 dug, and it does that in every song pretty much.
Do they all have the piano intro as well?
I mean, there's a lot of piano in there. Yeah, so it's very formulaic. There's that. There's Marilyn Manson. There's Evanescence. A band called Mindless Self-Indulgence as well, which I never really got at all. So whenever they come along, I can't skip fast enough.
Never heard of them.
No, well, exactly the same with me, but my brother loved them. So, I mean, there's no accounting for taste, is there? Hopefully he'll be listening to this and cursing my name. Because he's recently jumped on the bandwagon of the Fret Talk podcast, even though he's not a huge guitar fan. I mean, he knows 5 chords, and every so often he'll take one of my guitars, assert that he knows these 5 chords, and then that will be it.
And put it back down again.
Yeah, I mean. Mixed in with that, there will be pentatonic scales are tough, or palm muting's too hard, and then he'll put the guitar down.
Wow. Okay.
There was a wall where my brother hit with his guitar playing career, which was can't do palm muting. Palm muting's too hard. Fuck this. So yeah.
I take it is it 5 open chords? Was he trying to play like Summer of '69 and he couldn't get that palm muting on the D for the intro?
Well, I mean, because I had a go at teaching him some stuff, and it was just like, if you want to get down to like rocking, like pretty much like a whole bunch of classic rock, you can do it using power chords. And if you can do power chords and you can palm mute, you've got a whole bunch of like metal and rock. You can pretty much play any punk music. So yeah, you sorted. And it was like, yeah, that sounds really cool. Oh, this is hard. Fuck. No, I don't want to practice that. So that was his career with guitar. Maybe one day he'll pick it up and give it a good go. Maybe he'll just continue playing the same 5 chords.
I'm sure we can play half of like 80s and 90s music with those 5 chords. Yeah,
I mean, if I got him a capo, he'd be able to play a whole bunch of like Ed Sheeran hits and Taylor Swift and all these ones, but not entirely sure he's a massive massive Ed Sheeran or Taylor Swift. He does like Bruno Mars, which is a bit of a strange one. So maybe I'll teach him some Bruno.
Yeah, do it,
bro. If you're listening, I'll teach you some Bruno. So there we go. You've got another little what you've been up to, but I want to segue because we were talking fuzz, and I think this is a nice way to segue into something that I've done this week, which at the moment I'm recording this podcast is not out, but there will be by the time that this podcast is actually released, there will be a video on the Pedal Boards of Doom YouTube channel. Because we haven't done one in maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks now. It's the holiday season. It's very warm. We're both dealing with childcare, so just give us a bit of time. So yeah, I managed to do a recording of the JSA Muff Fuzz. So it's appeared on my Instagram channel. Oh, pardon me. Exactly.
Sorry.
So it's appeared on my Instagram channel a good couple of months back when I first got it, and there were some magical sounds that I was getting out of it. So I thought I'd do it the business and do it like a proper review. And much like the Race of the Dead, it's goddamn awesome. It's just it's noisiness, and we go through like how it responds to the volume, and you can go getting it really kind of to almost like a crispy overdrive with the volume control, and then bringing it back up for raucous fuzziness. The volume control as well, because it's a bit like the Race of the Dead in the fact that it's not overly warm sounding, which is why it sits really nicely in a mix.
Yeah.
But if you do want that kind of vintage, warm, fuzz-facey tone, you just roll back on the tone control, and you are absolutely there. So there's like shed loads of versatility, even though again this is like a single knob fuzz pedal. And then there's one more kind of cheeky trick that I do with it. I think I did it on my Instagram channel, but I ran a Moore Ensemble King. It's like the CE3 clone into it. So I think it was at the front end. And it sounds a little bit. I'm putting my hands up here and saying that this is not 100% authentic by any means, but it sounds uni-vibey enough to do that Hendrix thing that you go, yeah, I'll feel inspired by this. And just as a disclaimer, I am not saying an Ensemble King into a fuzz pedal will make it sound exactly like Jimi Hendrix, and you won't have to do any tone chasing after that. It sounds close enough, so it was good enough for me to have a great bit of fun in an afternoon.
As long as it inspires you to do something, then it doesn't need to be perfect, does it?
Absolutely that, and I think it inspires me in the same way that getting that exact tone would as well. So,
yeah.
So, isn't that what it's all about? I mean, I do need a Univibe pedal. Don't get me wrong, but having a
does anybody actually need a Univibe pedal?
I mean, need is a very difficult term to describe to define, isn't it?
Oh, you were the one that brought it up.
But just saying it now, I need a Univibe pedal. So Matt, you as I did say, you've got some more what you've been up to, and you've got a little bit more on the silent practice solution that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, haven't you?
Yeah, so when moving, I found something that I'd forgotten that I owned.
Yeah.
As we all do, we have gear that's lying around, buried under other gear.
Yeah.
Buried under boxes of new gear that you've put on top of your gear, forgetting it exists. And I found my Boss ME80, and I was like, oh, this has a headphone out.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need to buy anything for silent practices. I mean, the ME80, as much as it got a fairly bad rap for not being the greatest multi-effects,
Yeah.
it gets close enough for you to, for any sort of silent practice for me, certainly at the moment. Like, if I was going to just try and do silent recording, I'd probably need some form of like amp sim and cab sim, because I think the amp sims in there are not the best. The drives are okay, but in terms of if I need to teach myself 6 tracks before I go to a band practice, and it's 2:00 in the morning and I've just got home from work and I can't wake the upstairs or downstairs neighbours or my mum who is in the next room to me, I can plug this in and the only thing anybody else hears is the strings on the guitar. And like I can be hearing fuzz tones or drive tones or chorus or flange, delay, reverb, whatever I need to be sort of having a fiddle with. I can do that. I can set up. It's got its own patches set up for certain stuff, or I can use the manual mode and set my own patches up. There's EQ in there. There's amp sims. There's drives. There's delays. There's reverbs. There's all sorts of like pitch shifting and stuff. Really cool piece of equipment that I forgot I owned.
Yeah, it's quite comprehensive, isn't it? And like you say, if you comparing it to the solutions that are available today, it is always gonna fail. But if you're comparing it to the alternative, which would be practicing unplugged, you are absolutely gonna get closer to being inspired with the practice that you're doing if you've got a chorus tone for a song that you need chorus on, rather than just hearing the silent plinking of strings.
Yeah, it's exactly that, and a lot of the sounds in there are quite good because they're like
Cosm driven, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's like Boss's pedals are in the like versions of Boss's own pedals are in there. So like the chorus sounds are supposed to be from the CE5, and then you've got like the OC2 is the octave that's modelled in there, not the OC3 because they realised that that's not as good. And there's like so like the phaser and the flanger and all those kind of Boss pedals that are kind of industry standard to a point. Yeah,
they are ubiquitous, aren't they? And even the ones that you'd consider better will have taken Boss pedals as a springboard quite a few, like half of the time they'll take because you hear so many like Blues Driver inspired or I mean it's just quite often it's like the CE1 and the CE2 are considered like holy grails of chorus sounds.
Yep.
And so I mean, absolutely.
Yeah. And thinking about it, because we moved and most of my gear ended up going to the other guitarist's garage, so that I had the ability to use my car to move stuff. Doing all this silent stuff was on my home-built Telecaster with a single coil in the neck of the bridge, which I've probably not played for 6-7 years.
Yeah.
And it's far too heavy for me to ever use live on stage because it weighs more than like 3 normal Gibson Les Pauls because it's made of fairly cheap woods. But it's made me really covet a single coil Telecaster.
Yep. I mean, I know a guy who can hook you up. But yeah, standard tellies they are worth exploring. Cause,
yeah, and I even use the tone control. I feel a bit dirty.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be after seeing that Budget Pedal Chap video, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas talking about the tone control being magical. Sure, that was on a telly as well, wasn't it? That video.
It was a telly. You're right.
Because if you're gonna be using a tone control, the Telecaster is definitely the guitar that you want to be using it for. Because they can get a little bit harsh.
And you can tweak that out with this magical control.
Yeah, so it's almost like Leo Fender thought about this. That might get a little bit bright. So let's add something in there. Oh dear. Right, do you reckon we should do some news?
Yeah, go on. I think we're far enough in now that we can touch on a little bit of news.
Yeah, I mean, I've still got some more what we've been up to, but I don't think I'll bother. I think we'll just do some news, because I kind of want to talk about some of these. Being a vaguely news-related podcast, guitar news-related podcast, we should do some. So let's do some.
Go on.
Right. So, the guitar that caused a massive shitstorm, like 2 years ago, was it? Something like that?
I don't even think it was that. I think it was last year.
You reckon? Maybe.
I reckon it was 2018.
Okay. I'll run with that. So the PRS Silver Sky, like we say, the causer of many memes. There was a sneaky little thing on John Mayer's Instagram, which showed a Silver Sky in a really boring colour, but with a maple neck. And this is something that the Silver Sky has not had before. So there is little ripples in the waters of guitar news, saying that there may be an update to the Silver Sky range involving maple necks. But not only that as well. There was a video. It was a PRS factory tour video. The COO, Jack Higginbottom.
Bottom.
Yeah. I don't know whose bottom he's higging, but we are infantile, aren't we?
It's the scene from the Minions film, the first one, Despicable Me. Bottom.
So yeah, he hinted very, very strongly of an SE version of the Silver Sky. I've played a few Silver Skies, and they were good. So
they was good.
Yeah. So I went in to trying them, kind of thinking that I would not like them, because there's a lot about it that would suggest that it ain't my thing. So the slightly lower,
stupid scale length.
I mean the PRS scale length, it's neither here nor there. In fact, actually, it's probably a bit nicer for me because it's slightly shorter than Fender, which would lead it to having slightly reduced kind of string tension. But the slightly lower output pickups, I've not got along with Strats before, and the 7.25 inch radius, I definitely know that I've not got on with those before. No matter how many times I tried to make the strings choke out on the Silver Sky, they did not. and they were set flawlessly as well. So it was it was quite a sobering experience when I tried the Silver Skies, and they were not one of them was a bad player as well. They were all very, very consistent. So maple neck version, quite interesting.
I mean, it's just them opening it up to those kind of players. Like, I would always choose Rosewood over maple, but there are plenty of players out there who are going to choose maple over Rosewood.
Yeah.
If they want a PRS Silver Sky instead of a Fender, then this now gives them the option to have their maple neck on their Silver Sky. Yeah,
I mean, so there's a definite following of PRS players, and a lot of the time they suggest that the PRSs are hugely consistent and almost kind of clinically perfect guitars. And some people absolutely adore that. It's a criticism of that quite a few people suggest of like Boss pedals and the TC pedals as well, is that they are a bit too perfect, that they lack character and lack soul. But you'll find that certain people gravitate towards them. And the Silver Sky definitely gives those the people who are definitely like camp PRS. It gives them the triple single coil option without compromising the PRS thing.
Yeah.
But the thing that really excited me was the SEs, because realistically, I ain't buying a $2,500 Strat, not Strat.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'll never be focused enough on a Silver Sky at £2,500, whereas an SE, if it comes in at under the £1,000 mark, all of a sudden starts waving at you, doesn't it?
Well, that's it. I mean, like if I had $2,500 to spend on a guitar, the Silver Sky wouldn't even make the top 10. Even though it was, like I say, I've played about 3 of them now, and they've all been absolutely excellent. They've sounded great. They've played great. They've resonated well with me. But if I'm spending $2,500 on an instrument, I want it to be something that I would not put down, that I would be playing every day. And I just don't think that the SE was that. Sorry, the Silver Sky was that. However, it was a good guitar, and it was a bit quirky and a bit interesting. And if they're doing the Silver Sky at like, if they're doing the Silver Sky at like £700, which very very commonplace for the SE stuff. If they're doing it around that price, I'd be interested in taking another look. That's something that I could potentially justify more so.
Yeah, I mean, I said to you, I can't remember if it was before the cast or earlier on in the cast, that my next purchase will probably be a Strat. Mm-hmm. And then I talked about how I want a single coil telly, so maybe one of them will come first and then the other one. But if I get to the point where it's bonus time and the company performs well and I perform well, I'm not going to get $2,500 to drop on a Silver Sky, but I might get enough that I can make up to £850 for one of these Silver Skies, and all of a sudden that comes in the running along with the Fender Player Series, and the Nick Johnson's not too far from that, is it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of competition in that price range, and we were talking before the cast about the Player Series, and again, I went to Guitar with Yeomans. It was a fair few moons ago now, where we were basically doing some Strat shootouts. The Silver Sky was one of the guitars that came into it. There was a Soar, a higher end Fender, the Nick Johnston Schecter, and then eventually we got onto trying all of the other things, which the standard player Stratocaster came into it, like a two-tone player Stratocaster with a maple neck as well, which again is not the thing that we were potentially looking towards for that shootout, but it was there, and it was within the budget, because it was like 500-ish, and it stood up really well against all of these other much pricier instruments. But yeah, that price bracket, if you talk kind of 400 to like 800 quid, you've got so much choice for S style guitars.
Yeah, and I think that might be a decision that I have to make in the next 12 months.
Yeah, I will very much be helping you along with that decision, and potentially firing links of single core guitars towards you.
I won't say no.
There we go. So that's one thing that's happened this week.
Just before we move on,
oui.
20th of March 2018, the first Silver Sky shipped.
Okay. So not as long as I thought then. It seemed like it just seems like it has been a bit of a mainstay, which is great. Hello, Cat.
Yeah.
Don't know if you can see. Cat's just...
I can.
Yeah. I am now part of this podcast. So, say hi, Podcat. I don't think she wants to. But she does seem to want to sit on my lap, so we'll allow that. So moving on to the next thing, we've got the Marshall Studio Vintage SV20 head. This is something that I think it was announced at Winter NAMM. I think it was the thing that I played at the Birmingham Guitar Show, but they are hitting shops now, and it's ticking a few boxes for me. So just as a reminder, it's essentially like a 20-watt plexi. So it's got the 4 inputs, so you can blend channels. It's 2 ECC83 preamps. It's got ECC83 as a phase inverter valve as well, and 2 EL34 valves. So slightly smaller than the 84s. Obviously being 20 watt makes sense.
Yep.
It does 20 watt to a 5 watt mode, so potentially bedroom safe. Although, that being said, I own a Blackstar HT5, and if I'm winding that up to a point where the valves are cooking, that's waking everyone up. So
yeah, everybody in the street.
That's it. Yeah. So like potentially making it slightly more house friendly. I don't think you're going to be getting it for the flat, because, like I say, definitely neighbour aggravating. It's got an effects loop, which is brilliant. It's got multiple outs, so you've got a 4, 8 and 16 ohm out, so it makes it extremely versatile what you pair it up with. And it's got the thing that really impressed me is it's got a DI cab emulated out as well.
Okay. That's quite handy if you want to do silent recording thingies.
Well, this is my thought process, and this is something that I really want to do which is silent recording. But if I could do silent recording with an amp that does a decent clean tone, which you can get out of Marshalls, or a driven tone, which you can definitely get out of Marshalls, then the issue, however, comes in the fact that their price is $849, which is not terrible. It's not terrible. But that's for a 20-watt head. So, if you put that in perspective, the Black Star HT20 Mark II head, I think, is probably about 500 quid.
Yeah.
So it's going to be somewhere similar. Does it have all the features? I think it's got an effects loop. It's got... I don't think it's got a DI emulated out, but I think it's got an emulated out. So unbalanced emulated out. And I don't think it's got the power soak mode in it. But is that really worth the extra? What are we talking, like 300 quid?
Depends on what you want.
Yeah, I suppose it does. But like they'll be relatively similar. So I think we'll leave that one where it is. And I think next time I'm in a guitar shop, I might give it a go. Electro Harmonics. They're a company, aren't they?
They are. They make some wonderful pedals.
They do. They're the company that keeps on giving, because during these kind of dry spell periods, so directly after summer and winter NAMM, where you usually have like a drought of anything news related, EHX are always coming in to save the day. And that's what they've done this week. They have announced another one in their 9 series. So they had the Key 9 and the Synth 9 and the B9 and C9 and yeah,
Mel
9, yeah. They've come up with the Bass 9.
Yeah.
The Bass 9. Right. So, Bass 9. It does exactly what it says on the tin. So, 9 different varieties of bass tones. So let's read through them and see what we can deduce from this. So we've got P bass. No prizes to work out what that suggests. No,
is that maybe a Fender jazz bass?
Well, I think it's called precision. So yeah, P bass is very very obvious. There's one called fretless, which is quite interesting because it does like electric fretless, but also the control goes from one side to the other. You get more towards an upright bass sound, and then I think the second control adds like a chorus effect to it, so you can get a kind of Jacko sound. We've got synth, which is based on the Taurus synth bass, which, no, your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, I assume it's some sort of bass synth thing.
Yeah. So I mean, having listened to the product demo of it, it sounds quite synthy. It sounds common. It sounds like something you will have heard before.
Yeah.
There's virtual, which is a really strange concept. So it's not based on any bass in particular, but it allows you to kind of dial in like multiple bass sounds. I'm not quite sure how it does that. So I think it's kind of like a generic bass sound, and then you dial in certain like airiness and whatnot. I know I've missed out one off here. There was Longhorn, I think. There was one called Longhorn, which was based on a
DC.
it's based on a Dan Electro style. And that one starts off at like a drop tune, and then you kind of, one of the controls takes you down a semitone each time until you get to like bass tone. BOD, which is basically like a synthy cello sound, which didn't sound as bad as it sounds like it is when I describe it. Split bass.
I'm pretty sure that cello one they've just ripped straight from the Mel 9 cello mode, because it sounds exactly the same.
They may very well have done. I mean, why make more work for yourself? So this split bass, which is it basically, it only adds bass notes to notes under a certain threshold, and that threshold is F sharp 3. So essentially, you've got the majority of your E and your A string, and then a couple of frets on your D string, which can trigger these bass notes. Great for jazz comping. Players like Pat Metheny have done that like in real life, where they've got like the bottom two strings have been like a bass string, and then the top four they've done chord clusters over the top of. So that's quite clever without having to have mental instruments. There's 303, which is apparently the Roland TB 303, which again, like, I'll believe you.
I assume it's a keyboard or a synthesizer.
Yeah, there was one of them that was like played with pedals, like it looked like an organ at your feet. I assume that's probably this one. It might be the other one. Who knows? If you want some proper proper information on it, check out the EHX video. Unless you are a massive synth nerd, I don't think many of us really care. So there's that, and then there's the final one, which is the flip-flop mode, which is based on the Electro Harmonix octave multiplexer. But they make a point to say that it's improved, an improved version of it, so it tracks better and doesn't quite freak out at certain points.
Yeah, and if you're in Australia, that mode's called the thong mode.
Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, absolutely. Love it. So you've heard the video as well, haven't you, Matt?
I have heard the video. I was actually the one who sent the video to the group the day it dropped.
Okay, cool. And what's your thoughts on the sounds of this pedal?
Well, like the guy starts a video by saying, "Have you ever been in a situation where your bassist isn't there and you need to have bass sounds?" And I'm like, "Well,
no.
If the bassist hasn't turned up, we've probably cancelled the gig."
That's it, yeah.
Because if I have to play the bass sounds, who's going to play my bits?
It's exactly that, isn't it?
But yeah, like if we get onto the sounds, the first one is called P-bass or precision or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
The sound is the right octave frequencies.
It's very much sounding like you're saying good effort, but like
doesn't really sound like a P-bass.
Yeah, it's like the musical equivalent of every kid at sports day getting a prize, isn't it?
Yeah, like it's a pat on the head and a well done.
Yeah. You did really well there. You did not give up. And yeah, so my critique is very much the same. Is that it sounds like 10-year-old VST instruments from Cubase. Which, don't get me wrong, it's very impressive that they can do that, like on a guitar without having like an additional pickup, and that it tracks really well. I mean, the chap on it was doing some not really bassy sounding stuff at some points, and it was tracking with that. But yeah, I mean, if you're in an absolute pinch, you could be able to get away with it. But if you're looking to, like, if for example you're a guitarist and you wanted to track some bass in your home studio, nope. Just nope.
There's definitely plugins that work better than what this sounded like.
Yeah, it didn't sound great. I mean, the synth sounded better.
I think that's probably more the intention of this pedal. I think it's very much in the line of the organs and the synth and the key 9 and the mel 9 in terms of, if you like those synthy bass sounds and you want to be able to make them with a guitar, this will allow you to make those weird synthy sounds just 1 or 2 octaves lower than you normally would.
Yeah.
If you just plugged into one of the other ones.
It's very much unlocking the dubstep kind of genre for guitarists, isn't it? Because largely there isn't a lot of guitar going on in that kind of area, EDM and dubstep and all of those kind of areas. No, there's a space for you if you really want to. So I don't think all of you bassists who are listening, you can unclench now, because I don't think your jobs are at risk here.
Yeah, definitely not. It's not a case of, oh look, this has a precision setting, let's not get a bassist, let's get a guitarist with one of these.
That's it.
No band is having that conversation.
Well, it depends if the actual bassist can drive. So, like, keep yourselves useful, bassists. Make sure that you've got a van. But yeah, I don't think, as long as that guitarist who's now out to steal your job isn't particularly useful, which, let's face it, they're not usually. Guitarists are lazy creatures. So.
And really inconvenient to have more than 2 in a band. Can you imagine 3 guitarists all you're setting up and they're all trying to set their levels and they're all dicking around playing scales and modes and...
like herding cats. It really is. So
yeah, you don't want an extra one.
No, it's exactly, isn't it? We've got a final bit of news. We've crested the hour mark already. We smashed straight through that without even looking back. But this piece of news is an absolutely exquisite one. So there was a couple of pictures of a guitar from a certain custom shop shared this week, and it is equal parts glorious and silly, which makes it, I mean, the Venn diagram of like glorious and silly, right smack bang in the middle is the Fret Talk podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, we are the intersection of those things.
Yes. So this is, it's almost like the unofficial Fret Talk guitar. This is. So ESP have released a guitar to commemorate the 65th anniversary of Godzilla, and you'd think, okay, so they've done like maybe like a horizon with some Godzilla graphics on, or they've done like a reptile skin eclipse, or
maybe it's like those Game of Thrones Fender guitars where they've taken one of their normal shapes and just decorated it prettily. No,
so ESP very much saw those Game of Thrones inspired guitars and then said, Fender, hold my beer, and have made a guitar that looks like fucking Godzilla. So they've made a guitar which is essentially, so the body is Godzilla, and then the neck is like the tail of Godzilla.
And it looks incredible.
I mean, it is a very detailed replica of Godzilla. So, hats off to you, ESP, you mental bastards.
Yeah.
So let's look at some of the specs, because I mean, why not, eh?
Yeah, because we need the specs on this.
Yeah.
On this Godzilla.
So apparently, it's got purple LED fret markers.
Of course it does. Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, because it's not stupid enough. So the purple LED fret markers, but then it goes up the dorsal fins, quote unquote, because I'm not entirely sure that Godzilla has got dorsal fins of Godzilla. So running up the back, so they're switchable, purple LEDs. The jack input is in Godzilla's foot, apparently, because that's clearly the place.
Clearly stood on it. He stood on it.
Yeah. It would have been better if it was a tiny little bit of Lego. Because even Godzilla, if you stand on Lego, you're feeling that, mate.
Yeah.
So it's got a thin U neck. So, I mean, ultimately, it looks like it's built for speed and precision.
Ignore the fact that, like, behind your right eye, if you're a right-handed player, on the outside of your right arm is most of the weight of the guitar.
Yeah, is the majority of Godzilla. Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
That's where Godzilla is. You're playing his tail, and then Godzilla is to your right.
Yeah, very much so. So it's got a Floyd Rose because, again, if you're having a guitar like this, it needs to be ridiculous, and that is the most ridiculous tremolo system. It's got a single EMG 85 in the kind of torso of Godzilla.
In the torso.
Yeah, which I assume would be the bridge position.
Flick to your torso pickup.
That's it, yeah. Well, you've only got the torso pickup to choose from. You'd be like a torso and tail, wouldn't you? Switch to the tail pickup.
But that's actually the neck pickup, but that's really confused.
Yeah. It's a bit of a strange one. I think I would have liked the position selector where it says torso and tail. But I mean, ESP, if you're going to make a second one of these, you are more than welcome. Like, maybe like the 65th anniversary of like Mechagodzilla, you do in a couple of years' time. You can have that. You can have that for free. We'll give you that idea. So something this glorious, an instrument of this caliber does not come cheap. It is something like 5.5 million yen, which in normal money is around $51,600, which I would like to convert that into pounds for you now, but with our current situation, I can't do that.
I don't want to.
Well,
we don't want to, because actually it's probably like £59,000.
Yeah, it's more. Yeah.
Yeah, don't look at the state of our currency.
No. So I think we've reached the pinnacle of guitar here, haven't we? This is. It ain't getting better than this.
I mean, you can have pinnacles in lots of different areas. So yes, this is definitely a pinnacle of guitar.
Yeah. I mean, the ESP Custom Shop have been known for their ridiculous, overblown, and elaborate guitars. I mean,
This The Weeping Angels ones is the one I remember the most.
There was one that was like a sword, like a very kind of majestic sword with maybe like wings on it and stuff that I remember. Yeah. There's been a few over the years, haven't there?
Yeah, they had, like I say, the angel ones where it's like really intricately carved angels with wings that were guitars that were like the thickness of an acoustic guitar because they had an angel with wings. It's just like, but again, they had shred necks on them because why not?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have a ridiculous guitar that's shaped like an angel or like Godzilla, at least make them playable.
Yeah, and to their credit, they've done that.
Yeah.
51k is a lot of money, though.
It is a big old chunk of change, isn't it?
Yeah, and like I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to play a gig with Godzilla basically sat on your right hip.
Yeah, I think it's possibly the guitar you bring out on your encore, maybe than your day to day. Maybe it's going to appear in Bonamassa's collection, because I mean, he has got that kind of money kicking about, and he could do an encore, couldn't he, with Godzilla?
Bonamassa can do an encore with Godzilla. I'm pretty sure that's a Fret Talk podcast title.
Well, maybe. We will have to look at that.
Have to wait and see.
See. And I think that's probably where we're gonna end the podcast for today, because I don't think it gets better than the £51,000 worth of Godzilla. So yeah,
I can't argue with you.
Well, I'm lost for words. Right, so if you want to catch us online, you go to the Fret Talk podcast group, which is in Facebook groups. We hang about there. We occasionally post some stuff, some podcast related stuff as well. So yeah, check us out there. If you want to catch me online, it is facebook.com/BudgetPedalChap, Instagram.com/BudgetPedalChap, YouTube.com/BudgetPedalChap. All slashes. Yeah. Matt, you are Instagram, you are Twitch, you are Twitter at @heel_MattQ.
Correct.
Yeah, I've done this before. Absolutely, just complete thanks for making it this far. If you want to help the podcast out as well, share this podcast with your friends. Find one person who you think that would like this podcast, and send them a link to one of our podcasts. Because if everyone who's listening does that, then our audience doubles, and that's amazing. So cheers for listening. We do this all for you, so thank you for coming along on this journey with us. From myself, the Budget Pedal Chap. From Mr. Matt Quine. Say bye, Matt.
Bye, Matt.
I pointed the mic at you then as well.
You did that last time as well.
Don't know why.
It's like you're conducting an interview through your webcam.
That's it. And how do you feel about it?
I do have my own microphone. I know it's very similar to your one now, but I do have my own one.
It is. Yeah, so hopefully we'll get like a uniformity in the sound, and it will sound so clean and precise that it will be almost like we are in the same room. That's my aspirations for our audio quality. Maybe we just take the trip every couple of weeks and go meet each other and do it.
It's gonna get expensive real quick.
Yeah. Depends how much money we can make out of this podcast, doesn't it?
Yeah. So here's the new Patreon link, and the minimum sign up is £100.
That's it. Yeah.
To pay for the flights every week.
That's it for a week. Yeah, for a weekly visit. Yeah, I'm sure we were ending a podcast, weren't we? So, from myself, the Budget Pedal Chap, from Mr. Matt Quine, it will be a tatty bye and good night for this week.
a bit.
Yeah, hey, that was synchronized. I'm down with that.
I feel like I'm in the newsroom of a radio station with this thing.
Indeed. I mean, you look like you're in the newsroom of a radio station with this thing.
I mean, apart from the bed there.
I mean, yeah. And how do you feel about this? Love it.
You keep doing that. It's the end of every pod. You just point your microphone at me.
Yeah, as if like the proximity will make your answer clearer.